Hello and welcome back to the GT Aviator channel, the channel where I showcase my adventures, my trials and tribulations of flight, and what it really means to me to be a microlight pilot. Well, we awoke to a fantastic day after a great night's sleep, and I must admit I chickened out of camping. I thought, bugger it, I'll get an hotel, I'll get a room for the night. And after dinner and a few beers and a couple of whiskies, I was glad of that bed, and I must admit my head hit the pillow and that was it, out gone until this morning. Anyway, the plan is that we're going to head out of Glenforsa. So basically it's right down the loch from Glenforsa, past Tobermory and on to Skye and then Plockton. And it's a fairly short journey, I must admit, but we want to have a look around Plockton, and I think some of the fellas want to fly around the island, so it's ideal time to do it. It's been a fairly lazy morning. We should get there for about 2 o'clock and set up camp and then have a wander down to the village. But anyway, let's see how we get on. Now that everybody has taxied down to 07, John and Mike are able to take off. As you can see, they're just taxiing out there. The orientation of Glenforsa is 0726, and it's quite a long runway. And here we go. So, as I said, after takeoff, I'll be turning towards Tobermory along the loch. Wow, look at these views. This is Loch Kishorn. It sort of flows past Plockton, and Plockton is on the right. I'm just about turning finals now onto Plockton. The orientation of the runway is 2002, and it's just under 600 metres long, and it's tarmac. There's one thing you have to be aware of, is the airfield is used by the military and the police, and they fly massive helicopters in there, so one has to be aware that they'll just arrive on arrivals as such, and they cause a lot of downwash, as in some of the video you will see. However, here I am on finals 2-0, doing a side slip because I was a little bit too high, and the weather's looking fantastic. Anyway, let's see how I get on. So after landing, I had to make a quick exit off the runway because Dave Buggins and Eddie Scoogle and John and Mike Upton were on my tail. And here we see Dave now coming in now. just walking along the coastline, seeing how far we can get. We tried to get into a hotel tonight for dinner, but everything is fully booked up. So we're blaming Mr. Scoogle for not doing it. It seems like he's found some shells or something. I don't know what he's found. But there you go. More rock doodahs. Well, that was rubbish. You got a 67-year-old trying to flick stones there. Oh my word. Don't you do yourself injury. What you found? Let's see what Uncle Eddie's found.
It's a bit older. Looks like we do the clean up.
Well, that's rubbish, Ed. You don't.
So,
Yeah, well, you know.
oh, where's yours?
Well, because she's got all these. Well, that's rubbish, Ed. Must do better.
You try harder.
Try harder. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. If you know what this helicopter is, please comment. I have no idea. Anyway, after that we popped down to Plockton. We had fish and chips, and then we hit the pub, and we had a few whiskies and a few beers, and then it was time to get back. And as you can see, we were eaten to death by the local population of mozzies. The next day we had a nice surprise because Jonathan Harbottle and his dad flew in G-Plot. So like all interested pilots, we looked round their aircraft, had a chat, pulled up a sandbag, swung the old light prior to us all heading off to Carlisle. And as you can see, Jonathan and his dad are just taxiing for takeoff. Once Jonathan and his dad had taken off, we started to taxi and line up for our departure. And in the lead is Eddie Scoogle, followed by Dave Buggins, myself, and then John and Mike. So as you can see, the weather is a little bit overcast, but it's high enough to get over the high ground. And the route that we decided to take was from Plockton and down to just west of Oban, where we'd sort of turn left and head directly to Butte. And that would be our first part of our leg to Carlisle today. So here we are a little bit further down, and we're just going through the Glasgow and Prestwick corridor, which is fairly wide but can be busy at times, but we found it okay on this particular day. And then it was a fairly uneventful flight all the way to Carlisle, and you join me in the cockpit now as I'm on the downwind leg and now just turning finals. So the idea is that once we've landed, we'll all refuel, we will get something to eat and drink, and then head off back down south, and somewhere along the route we'll all disperse and go our separate ways to our home bases. Well, welcome to Carlisle, as they say. This place, well, what a treat we had. I mean, this is a regional, modern little airport that invites microlights and general aviation. I mean, they treat us like we were really important, which was really nice. The facilities are modern. The operation is slick. We requested fuel. We didn't have to wait. We'd only parked up a moment and the refueler was there. So after that, we got something to eat. We paid our landing fees, had a look round, and then it was time to make our way home. And I must admit, if you've never been to Carlisle, I suggest pop in. It's a great little airport. So here we are, taxiing down Foxtrot to enter runway 24 for a departure to back home. And in this flight it's just me and Dave Buggins. The other guys are going their separate ways, and it's a great day. The sun is shining, the clouds are parting. It was a bit bumpy, mind, all the way home, but apart from that it was a great flight. So here's a quick view of our flight from Carlisle back down south, and it was quite an uneventful flight. As I said, it was a bit bloody bumpy to say the least, and I had problems controlling my height and speed that my friend Dave Buggins, I wouldn't say he chastised me, but he wasn't very happy with my ups and downs. Sorry Dave, I will try and do better next time. Well, there you have it. What a week we had flying around the UK, mainly Scotland. I mean, we visited like 7 airfields, Fenland, Athesmore, which is great, a great little regional airfield. Eshot, again, you know, they got fuel, they got tarmac runways, they got grass runways. We went to Perth. Perth is lovely, however, I don't think they're really geared up for campers. You need to get a hotel there, because once, I think it's about 5:30, once the airfield shuts, there's no loos, there's no nothing, there's basically, there isn't anything until in the morning. And from there we went to Butte, and Butte is just a little airfield. There's nothing at Butte, but it's great views. But then Glenforsa, I mean, if you really have never toured Scotland and you fancy doing it, one place to go is to Glenforsa on the Isle of Mull. It's outstanding. From there we went to Plockton, and Plockton is again just a little tarmac strip, but Plockton is probably about 20 minutes walk down the road. A great little place. And from there we flew to Carlisle, and Carlisle, what a place is Carlisle. You know, they even accept, you know, microlights and general aviation. It was great. But anyway, like I say, we had a great time, and I hope you enjoyed the series. We enjoyed flying it. I enjoyed putting it all together and sharing our experiences. Anyway, until next time, fly safe, keep safe, and I look forward to seeing you on the GT Aviator channel sometime in the future. Bye guys.